Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the e-learning program on Musharaka. In this module, you will learn about the concept of Musharaka, the steps undertaken in a Musharaka arrangement, the financial calculations and profit sharing in a Musharaka transaction, the three types of Musharaka with examples, diminishing Musharaka used in house purchase, the basic differences between a Mudaraba and a Musharaka. The concept of Musharaka. Musharaka is a preferable technique for financing by Islamic banks for any manufacturing, trading or business venture where the bank is willing to act as a partner. Let's have the pleasure of meeting Dr. Rashid once again. He had opened a clinic 5 years back with financial assistance from an Islamic bank. Now, he wants to expand the clinic into a multi-specialty one with one of his friends, Dr. Nazir. The doctors need extra funds for the project, and they decide to approach an Islamic bank. At the Islamic bank, the doctors explain their requirement to me, their friendly customer care official.
Dr. Nazir and I plan to expand the clinic into a multi-specialty one. We were wondering if you have a suitable financial product for our project. This time, we would also like to invest some of our own money in the business.
I think Musharaka will be the perfect financial arrangement for you.
Would you mind explaining Musharaka in detail?
That's what we are here for, Doctor. In Islamic finance, the word shirka means partnership. There are two types of shirka: partnership of ownership and contractual partnership. Shirka al-Milk is a partnership that arises automatically due to joint inheritance or gift. It can also be a partnership that arises by choice. Shirka al-Aqd is a partnership where the parties concerned willingly enter a contract for joint investment and the sharing of profits and risks. This is generally used for partnership businesses by Islamic banks. The financial facility you need now is called Musharaka and belongs to Shirka al-Aqd. The steps undertaken in a Musharaka. In Musharaka, two or more persons provide finance for a project. All partners have a right to work for the joint business. However, this is not a necessary condition. Any of the partners can be a sleeping partner, authorizing the others to manage the business. All partners are entitled to share the profit in a pre-agreed ratio. The losses, if any, are to be shared exactly in the proportion of capital invested by each partner. Musharaka is useful in financing of manufacturing, trading, or any business venture where the bank is willing to act as a partner. Financial calculations and profit sharing in a Musharaka.
Can we do Musharaka using an equal share of capital to keep calculations simple?
For example, we are calculating the total investment here as 5 million dirhams. Now, if the two of us put together 2.5 million dirhams, can the bank pitch in with another 2.5 million dirhams?
Yes, we can invest in any ratio as may be deemed fit. As you have suggested, both parties can provide 2.5 million dirhams each as investment. So here, the bank will provide 2.5 million dirhams and both of you together will provide 2.5 million dirhams as an investment. All expenses will be charged to the business and all assets will belong to both parties. Profit is shared in the pre-agreed ratio. loss is shared in exact proportion of the investment. This is the basic principle of shirka. In our case, it has to be 50-50. Profit ratio will be decided in the beginning, assuming it's 40-60, and let us suppose the profit is 10,000 dirhams. The bank will get 4,000 dirhams and the doctors will get 6,000 dirhams.
If the profit is calculated annually, the bank will get the profit only at the end of each financial year, isn't it?
This arrangement may not suit both of us. Let me explain with an example. You, as a client or partner, will be required to give the bank a report outlining the projected profit margins while entering into the contract. Assuming a sharing ratio of 40:60, the client has to give us a projected profit at the rate of, say, 12% per annum on our share of investment every month or quarter. At the end of each year, all the asset values, revenues, and expenses will be collated, and the actual profit margins will be calculated. This is called constructive liquidation of the joint venture that is needed for calculation of the profit while the business is still going on. After constructive liquidation, if the bank's profit share is greater than 12%, the difference is paid to the bank. And if the bank's profit share is less than 12%, the bank shall refund the difference. This difference can be adjusted in the following year.
We firmly hope that the profit might be even more, say in the range of 25 to 30%.
In that case, we may consider giving you a good management bonus. After a certain range, the sharing ratio can also be changed in your favor. Maybe it can be 70% for you and 30% for the bank. Such good management bonuses will also be mutually agreed upon in advance and set down in the contract. A bank representative will be on the management board. He has the right to check the accounts and review the managerial aspects at his discretion.
Well, that will not be a problem at all.
Is there any limit to the number of partners in a musharaka?
No, there is no limitation laid down in the rules. To make it less complicated, I would suggest that you both enter into a partnership between yourselves. Hence, the partnership will be between Rashid and Company on one side and the Islamic Bank on the other side. Therefore, the contract will be drawn up between Dr. Rashid and Company and the Islamic Bank.
What will be the duration of the contract? We are thinking of a period of, say, 5 years.
With respect to period or tenure, there are mainly 3 types of musharaka contracts. The 3 types of musharaka. 3 forms of musharaka with respect to tenure. Permanent musharaka, temporary musharaka also called redeemable musharaka, and diminishing musharaka. The terms differ for each type. Permanent musharaka. Permanent musharaka is known as equity participation or purchase of shares of a company. The period of contract is not specified. The bank participates in the equity of the project and gets profit share. The partnership can continue as long as the parties wish it to continue. Permanent musharaka is suitable for long duration projects. Any of the partners can exit by way of selling his share to any other. Temporary musharaka. In temporary musharaka, partners invest in a joint business for a mutually stipulated period. The bank can invest for short, medium, and long-term periods, depending upon the need of the client. Diminishing musharaka. Period of contract in a diminishing musharaka is determined by the time taken for the bank's share to become 0. the client partner goes on purchasing units of the financier's share till the latter's share reduces to zero over an agreed period. In a diminishing musharaka, the share of one partner reduces gradually. The bank's share of equity is reduced each year or even every month as the client partner goes on purchasing it periodically. The share of the client in the capital steadily increases over time. When the equity investment of the bank becomes zero, the client will completely own the business.
How is a permanent musharaka contract terminated?
A permanent musharaka cannot normally be terminated. However, a partner may sell his share to any other and exit, as in the case of joint stock companies. Musharaka is basically a non-binding contract. Both parties have the right to end the contract at any time by giving a notice to the other party. However, for continuity of the business, the parties to a temporary musharaka may agree that no one will terminate the contract during an agreed period. While terminating a temporary musharaka, there are two options to choose from to distribute the joint assets. Option 1. The bank can indicate a price at which you may like to purchase the assets to continue the business. Option 2. The client partner may like to purchase the assets at the mutually agreed price. If it is not possible due to any reason, the assets can be sold in the market and the proceeds shared proportionately.
My friend has actually used diminishing musharaka in financing a house.
Yes, financing for houses is the most common application of diminishing musharaka. Diminishing musharaka used in house purchase. The client will join with the financier in purchasing the house. They will own the house jointly. The financier will lease his undivided share in the house to the client partner. The client will pay predetermined rentals to the bank. Along with the rentals, he will also keep purchasing the bank's units, ultimately returning the bank's capital. The client and the bank will share both the reward as well as the risk in proportion to their shares. The capital share of the financier is gradually reduced and correspondingly the rental also diminishes. When the capital invested by the financier is wholly repaid, the client will own the house completely.
I've also heard about sukuk, which are based on musharaka.
Yes, investment certificates and sukuk are another application of musharaka. Companies issue participation certificates to get partnership capital. Musharaka certificates, musharaka sukuk or partnership-based term finance certificates are all based on the rules of musharaka. These are alternatives to conventional debentures. The basic differences between a mudaraba and a musharaka.
What are the differences between mudaraba and musharaka?
The differences between mudaraba and musharaka. In mudaraba, the capital is put in wholly by one party, whereas in musharaka, all the partners are investors. In mudaraba, the capital investor cannot take part in the day-to-day management of the business, but in musharaka, all the partners have the right to take part in running the business. In mudaraba, the losses are borne entirely by the capital contributor. But in musharaka, losses are borne by all the partners. In mudaraba, liability is limited to the capital invested, and in musharaka, liabilities are usually unlimited. In mudaraba, in some cases, mudaraba assets may belong only to the financier. Only the income might be shared. But in a Musharaka transaction, all assets are joint property of the partners on pro rata basis.
I think the Musharaka contract will be perfect for our requirements. We will discuss this further and get back to you in a day or two. Thanks for the valuable information.
You're welcome. What we have learnt in this module. The financing technique of Musharaka. A Musharaka is a partnership where two or more financiers provide finance for a project. All partners are entitled to a share in the profits resulting from the project in a ratio which is mutually agreed upon. If there are any losses, however, these are to be shared exactly in proportion of capital invested by each partner. This form of financing is useful for any manufacturing, trading, and other business ventures where the bank is willing to act as a partner. Diminishing Musharaka has been used mostly in house financing. Musharaka is also known as joint venture facility or partnership financing. The accounting procedures in a Musharaka and all about projected profit margins to be paid every month, which will be adjusted at the end of each financial year. There are three main forms of Musharaka: permanent Musharaka, temporary Musharaka, and diminishing Musharaka. We learnt the main differences between these three types. How each of the types of Musharaka gets terminated. The main differences between a Mudaraba and a Musharaka. You may now reinforce your learning by going through this topic in the illustrated textbook and check your comprehension of the subject by attempting the questions in the workbook.